All right. Hello, good morning. I say, hi, Greco. How are you? I'm gonna figure this out in just a minute because I still need to log in my laptop. There we go. Admit. I need to manually admit everyone. All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. I'm right here, but I'm also gonna be kind of seeing from my laptop.
I was freaking out that you wouldn't join.
No, I'm here. I'm here. It's just I'm figuring things out as I kind of go right now.
I know.
This is the first time that, and it's throwing me off a little bit because I see my laptop right here, and then I see everyone right here. But this is just so I can see everyone because I have my phone over there, over there, and I can't see everyone from my phone. So I still wanted to have my laptop on the other side. So I'm being able to see everyone. And I just gotta check that I have everyone from the mail listing. It's kind of like signing people in on the mornings.
That's true.
Yeah, so it's like I'm multitasking at this time. How have you been, guys?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, if you guys want to have music on the background, I did send the playlist on the email on the invite for Zoom. So if you want to have that handy and use it on the background, you can. It's just a lot of, I don't know. I really like this week's playlist because it has a good messages within. And I had this idea of working into chin stand. So we will have the option at the very end of doing the chin stand, but it's completely up to you if you want to take it. So I feel like my hip bones need to really spread out, so I thought it would be a nice post to explore. So let's see how that goes. And yeah, we still have 5 minutes before we start. And yeah, it looks like I got everyone. So I mean, I know there's a thing here where I can mute everyone, and I'm not sure how I can do that. And if not, I'll just ask you to mute yourselves. Let's see. Some more people coming in. Wow. I swear that I did wake up earlier. It's just my hair is it's at that point of no return for sure. Like I have no idea what is going on. All right, we still have 3 minutes before we start. And I think this is nicer setting for sure, where we can interact with one another a little bit better, and I'll be able to provide a little bit of alignment if necessary. I figured on this throughout this journey that it's a little bit more complicated to teach, do the thing, and then look at the screen. I'll do my best. So I just want to have you moving and discover more about yourself as we go through this. But as I was saying, we will be working into opening the chest quite a bit and strengthening the lower abdomen and quads in order to get or down the road to explore the chin stand. So I will give a couple of options at the very end if you choose to take it. And we will be definitely doing a bunch of funky things in order to open up the heart and strengthen and also lengthen the quads. I believe there is a good relationship there where you have to not only stretch them, but you have to be strong with them as well. So we still have 1 more minute before we start. And I'm trying to see if everyone is in there already. All right, guys. So as I was saying on the email that I sent, where I sent the invite, you should have the playlist. If you can't find it on the email, you have it also on, you can find it on my bio of Instagram. If you follow me, it's on my link tree. It's there, it's on my stories. And I hope it doesn't throw you off that I see here on my phone, and then I'm looking the other way, right, the screen, looking at my laptop. So that's just on my laptop, so I can actually see better. But I can't. I'm blind, so I need something closer to me and bigger. But my phone is one that has the account for us to access the classes. So that's kind of how I'm doing it right now. Let's see how that works. Any feedback, let me know at the end. And we're gonna get started. So please, guys, if you haven't muted your device, go ahead and please mute it, because I haven't figured out how to do it from here. So just go ahead and mute it, and go ahead and click play on the playlist if you have it and you wanna use music for today. So we're gonna start in Supta Baddha Konasana, that is the butterfly leg. So soles of the feet together to touch. And go ahead and lie down. So this has become a thing, a pose that I've been really into starting. Just because it really feels nice very early in the morning, and it just activates a lot of the inner thighs. So again, guys, make sure that you're in mute. You have a little microphone at the very bottom. You have to do it in Zoom. Make sure that it has a red cross over it or a red line over it. That means that you're on mute, and then we're gonna be good to go. So once you start pressing the soles of the feet together, make sure that the lower back is fully pressing down. Sometimes when we bring the heels closer to the groin, you feel that the mid back starts to rise because it's starting to give in a little bit on the hips if they're tight. So if you need to separate the heels, that will be better in order to press the lower back down. Now imagine there are very heavy hands pressing the inner knees down, and you feel the strength of the lower abdomen just press a little bit more towards the lower back, and then you feel this energy running from inner knees to inner groin. And you can choose a place where you feel empowered to place a hand. So if that's one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart, and then your hands next to you if you want to feel grounded. I sometimes send my hands behind the back of my head and interlace my fingers. That really gets into my triceps. If you want to try that, you can definitely. And just start tapping into a breath that you relate to, tapping into a breath that makes you create imprints in the body that are stronger with every exhale. If you like to close the eyes and trust that your mind can guide you through the darkness that your eyes see, go ahead and do that. And then just trust the eye of the intuition. That'll be the one that will lead you today and will take the body to explore different movements throughout. And as you start tapping into the breath, remember that there's no regression from the body. It's just the mind trying to figure things out. So let the body move forward with the mind so you can discover more about yourself. Now, if you haven't already, send the hands next to the hips with the palms pressing down. And then feel the activation of the collarbones as they spread wide apart from each other in order to also ignite the triceps, as if you're bringing the elbows in towards the rib cage. Now again, sinking the hands down, keep the butterfly legs, take an inhale, lift the hips away from the ground for like a bridge pose with your butterfly legs. So the trick here is that you have to activate a lot through the inner thighs. You engage the glutes to help the lower abdomen rise a little bit higher to find a stronger opening through the inner hips. Take a deep breath in. With the exhale, release the glutes down all the way to the ground. Now take an inhale, start clapping the knees together, including the thighs, so as if you're zipping them fully. With the exhale, only walk the soles of the feet away from each other. So we'll be looking a little bit like this. And then you feel this nice opening through the inner, or rather outer thighs, and the inner thighs start wrapping in towards each other. You have to really activate the muscles of the outer hip. So make sure that the outer edges of the feet are pressing together so you can truly get into the outer hips. Now again, just keep the hands next to you, since we are going to explore a little bit more of that movement of the hip line, just so we start really turning on the abdominal muscles and the quads, which we will be needing for our chin stand. And then as you again sink the hands down, imagine that you're wrapping the elbows in towards the rib cage. Take an inhale, lift the hips away from the ground like a bridge pose, exactly, but with your thighs zipping in and leaving the feet as they are, really separated away from each other. So you can feel how the muscles of the outer thighs have to really ignite to use the lower belly to lift a little bit higher. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, release the lower back down. Good. Now just start separating the thighs away from each other and finding a regular stance in this pre-bridge. So your feet should be hips distance, your thighs can be separated away from each other, and make sure that your knees are right over your heels. Now keep the hands next to you. And again, feel the pubic bone rising into the heart as you feel the lower back press down. Take a deep breath in, regular bridge. Ignite through the ball of the big toe so you can really press higher. Now that you've done the other variations, this must feel a little bit nicer, maybe even stronger. Again, hands are next to you with the palms pressing down. Now you can find depth here if you want to scooch the shoulders together a little bit more and expand the abdomen up and in. Maybe you start interlacing the fingers behind the lower back. And that will help you open up a little bit more through the sternum. Again, we will be needing that. Now, here, imagine that the chin is being lifted slightly towards the ceiling. Press to the back of the head just to find a little bit of more opening through the throat. Now, stay here with bind or no bind. Take an inhale, reach the right toes and lengthen the legs if you wanted to poke the ceiling with your big toe. Feel the turning on of the left foot in order to reach the hip a little bit higher. Don't let it sink. Now listen carefully with the exhale, bend the right knee to the right armpit as if you kind of wanted to crunch it. It might not come that close, that's fine. Take an inhale, lengthen the right leg up. With the exhale, release the right foot. You're still on your bridge, you're still lifting. Maybe you still have the bind if you went for it. Take an inhale, lift the left leg. Lengthen through the knee. Imagine that you're about to poke the ceiling with your left toes and you're not sinking on the right hip. You're lifting it and igniting through the center of the body. Use the exhale to bring the knee into the left armpit as if you're about to crunch it in. Inhale, lengthen, keep lifting the hips. Exhale, release the left toes down. You're still on the bridge, maybe with a bind. Take an inhale, lift a little bit higher. Exhale, release the butt bones down. Unwind your hands, find the pre-bridge, and just stay here. Now go ahead and cactus your arms for the next deep breath in, or open your arms like a T and bring your knees in towards the abdomen. With the exhale, drop the knees to the left. Then take your gaze to the right. Just for a supine twist, I'll say easy one in between quotes. What you really want to focus on is how the lower back starts stretching, just so we access now the length of the lower back. This is compressing the front side abdomen so we can really turn on whatever's behind us. And then make sure that the right shoulder blade is sinking down into the ground. Imagine that someone is just pulling your right wrist to whatever's on the right side of your room. Take an inhale, bring your knees and gaze back up through center. With the exhale, drop the knees to the right, bring your gaze to the left. And then make sure that as you're accessing the muscles of the left side that wrap all the way to the right, you feel that the left shoulder blade is sinking down for you to really feel the extension of the lower back. And if you want to add more weight, taking the right hand outside of the left thigh, you can do that. Make sure that you're still connecting with the breath and you feel that the inhales and exhales are helping you find more intention through the movement. Take an inhale, start bringing the knees back up through center and your gaze as well. With the exhale, if you want to wrap the hands over the shins or the back of the thighs, choose one that can really bring the thighs in towards the abdomen. If you want to roll a little bit from side to side to release the lower back, do so. I normally do need it. And then slowly start rocking and rolling forward and back, until you find a tabletop, rolling into the shins, maybe crossing the ankles and finding the all fours with the shoulders over the wrists and your hips over the knees. Now take a deep breath in. Exhale, find a child's pose, shoot the butt back, choose an opening of the knees, whichever one really helps you find a little bit, just a little bit of, no, I'm not gonna use comfort, I'm just gonna use the word ease for you to really release through the lower back, but still work on walking the hands to the front of the room so you can really activate through the tricep line. Again, we need the leg. Now lower the forehead down. I won't, so my voice doesn't resonate to the ground. I'll be lifting my chin. But again, feel the belly pressing back and slightly down for you to really get more length of the torso. Now listen carefully. Take a deep breath and start lifting the hips up for you to come into an extended puppy pose. So keep the hands long for now. Start lifting again the tailbone, but still feel the belly pressing back into the thighs, no matter the opening of the knees. And then really trying to get the chest and chin down in towards the ground. Now, if getting the chest and chin down is a little bit too intense, you can grab a pillow, a blanket, a block. And if you want to bring a little bit more height towards the heart, then go ahead and do so while you work on the opening of the armpits and rolling of the upper arms out. So choose something that is challenging for you in order to really get the opening of the sternum. Now, once you get the stability of the chest and the chin, wherever they're touching, take a deep breath in. With the exhale, walk the hands next to the shoulders about half a foot away, and then come into the fingertips. So you're coming into more of like a little cobra chest right here, or not a cobra chest, but like that kind of lifting through the elbows and the heart, just so you start getting really into the strength of the collarbones and the biceps kind of pushing away. But again, the chest is pushing down. So while the hands are pushing away, the chest is pushing down. All right, that's your resistance. Now, slowly take a deep breath in. With the exhale, lift through the fingertips and then shoot back, straightening the arms and feeling the strength of the collarbones, finding your child's pose again. It's okay if your hands are wider here. That's the direction that you took them towards. And then lower the forehead down. Let's do that one more time. Come into the fingertips. So you're cupcaking the hands, take an inhale, come into this extended puppy pose version with the elbows bent slightly up. Pressing the chest and chin down. Good. And then with the exhale, extend through the arms. Feel the biceps help you push back into the child's pose. Now you can always keep the hands tented if you like, or you can press them down while you're here. We're going to do this one more time. Pick up the center of the palms. Take an inhale. Shifting forward, slithering with the tailbone lifted and the chest and chin low. Press it down. Let the chin meet with the line of the fingertips. And with the exhale, extend through the biceps, shift back tailbone towards the heels. Find your child's pose. Now this time stay here. Just breathing in and out. And then again, resonating with the intention of the practice, which is just letting the mind progress in line with the body. Walk the hands so they're shoulder width apart. in your child's pose. Take a deep breath in, come into your tabletop, the shoulders over the wrists and the hips over the knees. Go ahead and move in any shape or form that you like. That movement of the chest opening like this in the extended puppy pose is really intense. So when I go a little bit from side to side, I feel a lot on my left side, which is my tighter side. So do anything that really helps you find a little bit, just a little bit of a release, but an understanding of what the muscles did mostly. Good. Once you feel awakened by moving in a way that your body needs to, find the shoulders over the wrists and the hips over the knees. Take a deep breath in, extend the right leg towards the back of the room, flex the foot, engage the quad so you let the belly come up and in. Now listen carefully. With the exhale, bending through the left knee, pick up the left toes away from the ground, and you're gonna create a shelf with the tippy toes of the left foot for the right quad, making sure that your knee feels okay. If you need to bend or fold your mat or take a pillow blanket, go ahead and do so. Now slowly with the exhale, bend the elbows back and in, dip the chest and chin down, open this time with the elbows back in towards the ribs. Take an inhale, lift. With the exhale, chest and chin dips with the elbows back and in. Good, inhale, lift. Exhale, dip. Good, inhale, lift. With the exhale, just drop the left shin down, keep straightening the right leg behind you. With the exhale, bend the knee slightly and open the inner thigh like a car door on the right leg. Good, like a fire hydrant. Take an inhale, extend the right leg laterally to whatever the right side of the room, so you're flexing to the foot. Good, with the exhale, bring the knee in to bend and then tap the knee towards the left knee, if that makes any sense. So take an inhale like a car door, right knee bends, open it up, the shin is facing the room. With the exhale, extend the leg. Then use the inhale to bend it. Use the exhale to tap the right knee towards the left. Now one more time, inhale like a car door, open it up, the thigh is facing down. Use the exhale to extend the leg back, flex it. Good, inhale, bend. Exhale, tap. Good. Now listen carefully from here. Inhale, extend the right leg again, back in towards the back of the room as you're flexing and hovering the toes. With the exhale, drop the toes down and pick up the left leg all the way into a one-legged downward facing dog. Now, I know it's a little bit funky, it's a lot of sides, and this is just to keep you active and present during the practice. So you're lengthening through the arms, shooting the forehead down and back, and really finding length. It's okay if the right heel doesn't touch your knot. What you're looking for is an activation of the left quad to lift the leg a little bit higher without opening the hip. You still want to square the left hip to meet the right. Good. Now with the exhale, bring the knee in towards the nose as you round the spine, really feeling the compression of the abdomen. Inhale, lengthen the leg back up. Exhale, bring the knee in towards the left elbow, bring the belly up and then step the left foot outside of the left hand for a lizard. Again, we're opening to the hip line. And make sure that your knee is stacking over the ankle. This is to access the line of the inner thigh and the pelvic floor. If your leg starts shooting out, you're letting go a lot of the energy. So try to keep the knee over the ankle. And if you like to move a little bit front and back just to get more into the muscle, you're more than welcome to. Again, this is just to open up a little bit more. Good, and then open through the heart. Press to the center of the palms and really find opening of the chest. Take a deep breath in. With the exhale, drop the right knee down if you hadn't already, and just send the left leg to meet the right, find your tabletop. Go ahead and find the spot where you started with the shoulders over the wrists and the hips over the knees. Take a deep breath in, extend the left leg back, and making sure that the quad is helping you extend the leg and lifting the left side navel or left side part of the abdomen up and in. Good. Use the exhale to bend through the right knee to pick up the foot away and creating a shelf for the left quad with your right foot. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, chest and chin dip with the elbows back in. It's like a chaturanga dip. Good. Inhale, push back up. Exhale, bring it back and in. This is very important for the strength of the triceps. Inhale, push back up. Exhale, one last dip. Inhale, push back up. With the exhale, just drop the right shin down. Keep the left leg extended. Now with the exhale, bend the knee lightly in towards the abdomen and use the inhale to open up the leg like a car door, flexing the foot and really engaging through the inner thigh. Use the exhale to extend the leg laterally now, as if you're about to roundhouse kick whatever's on the left side of your arm. Don't dip on your right arm. Keep finding the center. Exhale, bend through the knee and tap inner knee with inner knee. Inhale, open up with the knee bent on the left leg. Use the exhale to extend, flex the foot, find strength in the center of the heart. Really use the knee to bend as you inhale, exhale, tap the knee with inner knee. Inhale, open it up. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend, flex the foot to the back of the room. Exhale, tap. Good work. This time, inhale, extend the left leg to whatever's in the back of the room and drop the toes down to touch. Inhale, one-legged downward, extending the right leg up, and really imagine that you're about to just kick up, but without really kicking up, you're just finding extension from the upper arms in order to really lift the right leg a little bit higher. Stay here for the inhale. Exhale, bring the knee into the nose, through the center. Really feel that the thigh and the abdomen can touch the compression. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, bring the knee in towards the right elbow, and then step the foot outside of the right hand for the lizard. Once you get here, the line of the knee and the ankle are very important. So if your foot stepped a little bit far back, that's okay. Grab your ankle, step it forward. If it went too far forward, then just bring it a little bit farther back so you find the line where the actual left quad is stretching. Again, you need that quad. Press to the hands if you want to move a little bit from side to side. You're more than welcome to open up in whichever shape or form you like and really let the heart shine forward. Take a deep breath in. With the exhale, if you haven't dropped the left knee, go ahead and press it down. And send the right knee to meet the left. Find your tabletop. Go ahead and drop your forearms down. Now, this is key. Make sure that your hands aren't touching each other. You have the wrist in line with the elbows and the elbows in line with the shoulder line. So not too far out, not too far in, just enough that you understand the line of communication between the bicep and the elbow. Now press the hands down, middle finger looking forward. Take a deep breath in, curl the toes. Exhale, lift the hips for a dolphin. And then find a dolphin where you find the strength to just let the heels slightly press down. They don't have to touch the ground. They energetically feel they can, and then press through the inner elbows to push back and open through the heart. Now listen carefully. Press to the hands. Take an inhale, shift forward to lift into a high plank with the shoulders over the wrist. Use the exhale to drop the knees. Bend the elbows back and in. Chest and chin dips. Good. Now take an inhale. Push back up. Exhale, press the elbows back. Come again into the dolphin. So it's a dynamic movement right there. It's okay if the heels don't touch. Take an inhale. Shift forward, and when you shift forward, you lift the elbows and start dropping the knees, chest and chin dip. So find the tailbone to really lift up and press the heart down. Good. Now hands are next to the shoulder line. Inhale, pick yourself back up. Use the exhale to press the forearms down and lift the tailbone up. Let's do that one more time. Take an inhale, shift forward, lift the forearms away from the ground for a high plank. Chest, chin down as you lift the tailbone. Good. Then inhale, press yourself back up. This time, don't drop the forearms, just find a downward facing dog. Good work, guys. And then find the spacing between the hands and the shoulder width apart, your feet hips distance. Maybe now your heels press down. If they don't, bend the knees. Let the abdomen flatten towards the thighs so you give priority to how the spine is lengthening and how the abdomen is stretching towards the quads in order to get a longer torso. Now, if you want to walk it out, bend the knees, move from side to side. Again, anything that really helps you get into the opening of the body. And really feel the collarbone spread wide, and even the shoulder blades move away from each other. So you can put 2 bricks in between the shoulders and the ears, and you still have that spacing. Take an inhale, look in between the hands. With the exhale, step or rock to the front of the mat. If you want to give little steps, Try to keep the knees long so you activate the core just a little bit. Now you can keep your feet hips distance if you like. Take a ragdoll once you get here. If you like to grab the elbows, if you just like to hang heavy, soften the knees, and then feel the abdomen press towards the thighs. So you can keep the neck long because you're trying to really find the length from lower back all the way to upper back. Take an inhale, halfway lift. You can press the hands in towards the ground or in towards the shins in order to activate the length of the abdomen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Reach the hands over the head all the way and really feel the tailbone tucking for the glutes to drop back. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Close the eyes for just a cycle of breath. Now remember that we go far past the movements and we get into the strength of the mind in order to achieve our ideals, our goals. Take an inhale, reach the hands over the head all the way. Good. With the exhale, send the hands towards the hips and start grounding down through the left foot. Take an inhale, bring the right knee in towards the right hip so you're hovering the right foot. Use the exhale to bring the right heel to the back glute and send the right hand to grab the foot. Now make sure that your knees are sort of glued to each other so we can really access the quad length. Take a deep breath in. With the exhale, you can take it further if you want to move the foot out and then forward for a frog pose, Bakasana. Now again, try to keep the knees as close together as possible so you can really get a little bit deeper towards the quad. Now we're not done yet here. Keep the pose that you chose. With your hands supporting the lower back as you grab your left hip. Take an inhale. It's a back bend as you press the pubic bone forward and you find a deeper sense of a stretch through both quads as you let the glutes drop down and towards the heels and the knees are still meeting each other. So it's not a very marked back bend, it might be subtle. Take an inhale to stack. Exhale, release the right foot to meet the left. Good. Now grounding down through the right foot. Take an inhale, bring the left knee in towards the left hip. Use the exhale to bend through the knee, send the heel to the glute, and send the left hand behind you. Now make sure that your knees are meeting each other as much as you can. You're looking like a flamingo. Keep the right hand next to the right hip. The thumb behind you is the one that helps you support through the lower back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, you can find deeper stretch if you want to go through the Bakasana, that is moving the heel out and forward in order to get more of a longer left quad. Now stay here in whichever pose you chose. Use the inhale to come into a back bend in this pose. So that is pressing the belly forward as if you want to magnetize the hip bones to whatever's in front of you. And you're still pressing the sole of the foot towards you in order to really get the stretch and try to get the knees to still meet each other. Take an inhale, stack up. Exhale, release the left foot to meet the right. That was an intense one, guys, but you'll see when we're taking this. Take an inhale, reach the hands over the head. Exhale, find a fold. Good, inhale for a halfway lift. Open up a little bit more. Exhale, fold deeper. Inhale, step or rock your feet to the back of the mat. Find your high plank, the shoulders over the wrist, and then heels over the toes. Good. Now listen carefully as you exhale, drop into a form. So again, find the line of the shoulders over the elbows and the middle finger facing forward. Use the exhale to drop the right hip to the right side. So it's a hip dip, and then really get into the stretch as if you're pressing a little bit more through the left elbow. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, hip dip on the left. And again, you're pressing through the right elbow in order to get longer to the right side. Inhale, come through center. With the exhale, press the chest, the chin down, lift the tailbone, and walk the hands next to the shoulder line. Good. So it's like we actually call this a limb pose, and this will really help you access the length of the torso and a little bit of the back end that we're going to explore at the very end. Now keep the hands next to you. Take a deep breath in, curl the toes, and lift the knees away from the ground. So you're lengthening through the quads and opening a little bit more through the chest. This is a precursor for the chin stand. Now, if you're like, whoa, that's quite a bit too much, then maybe start with one knee, tap the knee down, and then start with the other, and take the other one up. Maybe you want to do that and see how that works in your body. Be mindful. Take a deep breath in from wherever you are. With the exhale, if you still have both knees hovered, drop them down and just slither yourself forward, coming into a cobra. So tops of the feet pressing down, elbows still back and in while you spread the collarbones wide in order to get now a greater release from the lower back as you open through the chest. Use the exhale to curl the toes, lift the hips. Downward facing dog, Mukha Svanasana. Good. So we're slowly connecting into our vinyasa. And really feel, again, through your downward facing dog, the length of the triceps, pushing the shoulder blades away from each other in order to lengthen the tailbone up. Take an inhale, look in between the hands with the exhale, step or rock to the front of the mat. Come into your fold. Inhale for a halfway lift, open up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Send the hands over the head all the way. This time, as soon as the hands press together, take a forward fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway, keep the hips stacked over the heels and let the heart push forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step or walk your feet to the back of the mat. Find your high plank. Good. With the exhale, drop the knees down. Now this time, bend the elbows back and in without dropping the chest and chin down. Take a high to low. So you're hovering the thighs, the belly, the chest, and the chin away from the ground just to get more into the core. Stay here for the inhale. Exhale, go all the way down. Keep the chest open. Inhale, lift into your cobra. If you want to do upward facing dog, you're more than welcome to. With the exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now, once you're getting there, again, find a greater length of the hamstrings. Maybe the heels start getting closer towards the ground as you keep igniting the core. Inhale, look in between the hands. With the exhale, step or rock to the front of the mat. Come to your fold. Inhale, halfway lift, open up through the sternum. Exhale, fold. Soften through the knees, open the heart, belly pressing. Inhale, reach the hands over the head with the strength of core. Lift the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, open up through the heart again. Exhale, fold, keep the knees soft. Inhale, step or rock your feet to the back of the mat. Find your high plank. You choose this time if you want to drop the knees or you hover them in your high to low chaturanga, elbows back and in. If you choose to hover the knees, make sure that the abdomen is aligned with the heart. You're not dipping down, you're strengthening the line. Inhale, open up through the sternum. If you're doing upward facing dog, your hips, your shins are hovering and you're extending the belly forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good work, guys. Take a full cycle of breath here. So you again, keep opening through the chest line and find that nice separation of the shoulder blades to really get into the muscle line of the upper back. Take an inhale, look in between the hands. With the exhale, step or walk your feet to the front of the mat. Come to your fold. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let the big toes touch. Thighs press in. Inhale, reach the hands over the head. Exhale, find your chair. Utkatasana. So there's a fine line in between dumping the weight on the lower back and focusing on the pelvic floor and the lower belly to sit down. So you're literally manifesting a real chair underneath you by really sending the belly up and in, reaching the hands over the head to elevate the heart rate, and then try to challenge yourself to gaze in between your fingertips just for the purpose of this practice for this hour. Now, while you're looking in between your hands, take a deep breath in. Lift the heels away from the ground, come into the tippy toes, and you're using the lower belly to lift. So you're not pulling forward to lift the heels. You're just letting the thighs press together to lift into the tippy toes to really get into the lower belly. Sit down a little bit lower, take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold, release the hands down, heels down. Inhale, halfway open up, keep the hips and the heels stacked upon each other. Exhale, fold deeper, listen for the change. Inhale, step the left foot all the way to the back of the mat. Drop the back knee. Take an inhale, reach the hands over the head in your low lunge. Now, once you're here, just check in your front leg. Is any stacking over the ankle? Then we're good to go. Exhale, interlace the fingers and send the palms behind the back of the head and open the elbows wide as if you start gazing. Take a deep breath in. Find a back bend as if you're falling into your pillow. And then opening the chest a little bit wider by sending the left hip forward. Stay here in this back bend that you chose. Curl the back toes. Take a deep breath in. Lift the back knee up and keep the integrity of your front knee. So if you need to take a look, and then come back into your back bend. Inhale, reach the hands over the head. Just find a neutral spine. Exhale, drop the hands down, frame your front foot. Take an inhale, step the left foot to meet the right. Find your fold as you exhale. Inhale, halfway lift, open up. Exhale, fold. Again, thighs together, big toes touching, heels clicking. Inhale, reach the hands over the head. Exhale from your chair, Utkatasana again. For the purpose of this hour, try to look in between your fingertips so you challenge yourself. If you need to look forward, that's totally fine. Then strengthen through the belly to really press the palms together and zip it in. Take an inhale, come into your tippy toes as you lift the heels. And again, you're not coming forward. You're coming up and you're reaching through the lower belly to get a little bit higher through the tippy toes. Inhale to stay. Exhale to fold, release the heels down. Inhale halfway. Open up through the heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step the right foot back all the way. Once you get there, lower the knee. Reach the hands over the head. Find your low lunge. And then once you get here, make sure knee stepping over the ankle of the left leg and choose the spacing between heel and knee for you to access the hip. Exhale, interlace the fingers, open the elbows out. Now, really find a good understanding of where your right quad is. Take an inhale, back bend. When you inhale, you have space to inflate, to start shooting the back of the head into your hands. With control, lengthening the back of the neck. You need the support. Go ahead, curl the toes. Keep the back bend. Inhale, reach the back knee up. And then find a little bit more opening every time that you send the right hip towards the right armpit. Inhale, neutral spine, reach the hands over the head. Exhale, send the hands down, frame your front foot. Inhale, step the right foot forward to meet the left. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway, open up a little bit brighter. Exhale, fold deeper. Reset, inhale, reach the hands over the head. Straight legs. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. We're taking a vinyasa. Inhale, halfway lift, open up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step or rock your feet to the back of the mat. Find your high plank. With the exhale, again, take a vinyasa however you like to modify it. Whatever you're taking out or you're adding in, make sure that you're following the alignment that helps you strengthen the mind and the body together. And take your time. Remember that you're following your breath. So if my breath is shorter than yours, you just finish yours. We'll be right here for you. Find your downward facing dog. Once you get here, take a deep breath in, look in between the hands with the exhale. Step or rock to the front of the mat. Come into your fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Send the hands over the head. Listen carefully. With the exhale, interlace the fingers and send the palms behind the back of the head. And splay the elbows out again as if you're stargazing. Now the navel is up and in. I'm prepping myself. Prep yourselves. So you can inhale. Come into the tippy toes with straight legs just for this breath. Now use the exhale to bend the knees. Start coming into like a cow torso. So that means that we're going against everything we believe in chair. Sending the tailbone to the back of the head. And again, I said you're about to let the back of the head touch the tailbone while still lifting the heels away from the ground. Purposefully send the abdomen forward, not just dumping on the lower back. Take an inhale, straighten everything, release the heels, find maybe a mini back bend. Tuck the tailbone, use the exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway open up. Exhale, fold. Listen for the following. Inhale, step the left foot towards the middle of the mat. Maybe a little bit farther back for a pyramid stance. So choose a distance that will let you drop the back heel down. Left toe facing forward, same as the right. And again, you can bring chairs next to you, blocks, pillows, anything that you need to let the abdomen really flatten over the front right thigh and your heart to really press forward. Stay here, inhale. Exhale, full deeper. And really get into the stretch of the right hamstring as the big toe is kind of pointing in towards the nose. Good. Take an inhale, warrior one. Bend through the front knee. Your legs stay the same. Basically, just reach the hands over the head. And as you're bending into the right knee, notice that by keeping the left toes facing forward, your left hip is already squared next to the right. So you create the angle on the back foot that you need in order to really wrap the front thigh, or rather the left thigh to meet the right. Reach the hands over the head. Inhale. Exhale, send the hands behind you, interlace the fingers. Press the palms together from wrist to knuckles. Inhale, open up to the heart. Exhale, humble the warrior. Now you can hover on top of the front thigh. You can go all the way in. Why am I not using my thigh as a shelf? Because then I'm letting go of my core strength. And you're truly wanting to access the strength of the abdomen that will help you open up through the hip line. Keep wrapping up the right thigh, the outer right thigh, into the center of the body and reaching the fist away from the head. Now keep the bind if possible. Inhale, lift just the torso up, straighten your front leg for a reset. Use the exhale to fold into your pyramid again, but this time with the bind. If you need to drop your hands, you can be my guest to do so. If you're like, that bind is a little bit too much, grab the elbows from behind. If you're okay, take a deep breath in and reach again. Keep the binding, shoulders over the hips. With the exhale, imagine that you're taking the left shoulder to the right knee and twist, keeping your front leg straight. Now, this one's a lot of abdomen, so soften through the right knee. Maybe you don't go all the way down, but keep separating the fist away from the lower back to use more of the core. Take an inhale to stack up. Reach the hands over the head. With the exhale, go ahead and bring the hands through heart center. Take an inhale to bring the left knee in towards the left hip. Good. And then slowly take an inhale to reach the hands over the head. This is where we're going. Interlace the fingers behind the lower back, open the elbows out. Use the exhale to send the right elbow to the left knee without bringing the knee any far closer. Can you twist and use the core to open up the left elbow? Inhale, kind of stack up, head over the shoulders, shoulders over the hips. With the exhale, step the left foot to the back of the mat to find a straddle. So bring the right toes to meet the left. And really find the length of the lower back and abdomen pushing forward. Keep the hands behind you. Inhale. Exhale, fold. And yes, if you're just dipping your head yourself down into the ground, and stay here for a full cycle of breath, pushing your head in between your legs and maybe getting it to touch the ground and lengthening through the abdominal line. If you need to drop the hands, drop the hands. We're going to do so all together in one more deep breath in and deep breath out. Go ahead and drop the hands down into the ground. Take an inhale, halfway lift, open up through the sternum. Exhale, walk the hands to the front of the mat so you're framing the right foot. Inhale, reach the right leg up, one-legged downward facing dog. Now listen carefully. With the exhale, chest and chin dips from this down dog, hinge forward into like a high plank, elbows back in and without dropping the forearms, chest and chin dips. Inhale, push back up. Listen carefully. Exhale, bend the knee. Send the toes to the back of the head like a scorpion tail. But we're not opening the thigh. Ideally, you want to keep the line of the knee and the right knee and the right hip together as you send the toes to the back of the head. Inhale. Exhale, chest and chin dips. Bend the elbows back in and with your knee bent. Inhale, push back up, straighten the leg. With the exhale, drop the right toes down, find your downward facing dog, or you can hinge forward and take a vinyasa if you like. We need to work with the upper body strength too, and how the triceps and biceps are wrapping in towards each other. So try to really send the abdomen towards the thighs. Take an inhale, look in between the hands. With the exhale, step or rock to the front of the mat. Come to a hold. Inhale, halfway lift, open up. And then exhale, fold. Stay here for one deep breath in and a deep breath out in this ragdoll, just so you kind of reset. What we did requires kind of like a lot of strength, a lot of upper body. Inhale, reach. Send the hands over the head all the way. Good. Interlace the fingers behind the back of the head. Open the elbows out. Inhale, come into the tippy toes. Exhale, bend the knees forward. So you're sitting like a chair, and then go against everything you can leave on the chair. Send the tailbone out. And send the back of the head, almost as if the tailbone and back of the head can touch. Purposely send the abdomen forward. Inhale, drop the heels straight and find a nice long line. Maybe you take a mini back bend. Now send the pubic bone forward, tucking the tailbone. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step the right foot back like a pyramid. So make sure that the back heel can touch. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Well, not like a pyramid. We're actually on the pyramid back Uttanasana. So if you step too far back and your heel is not touching, just take a shorter stance and try to really wrap the outer right thigh into the center of the body. Take an inhale, warrior one. So keep the distance of your feet. Bend the left knee. Reach the hands over the head. So again, you're letting the toes face forward in line with the knee to protect yourself and really access the springs of the hips. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the lower back. Open up through the heart. Inhale. Exhale, humble the warrior. Go inside or hover on top, depending where the flexibility of your hip is, and reach the forearm, or rather the fist, over the upper back to really get a little bit more in towards the hip. Keep the body in if possible, maybe just holding the arms behind you like your forearms. If that one is a little bit too much to explore, extend your front leg. Exhale, pyramid with your binding, whichever binding you chose. And once you get here, you're like, whoa, I need to drop my hands. That's okay. Drop the hands. Just keep the integrity of the stance no matter what you chose to do with the hands. Inhale, rise the torso up, keep the legs as they are. Exhale, it's a twist in this pyramid with the right shoulder towards the inner left knee and still separating the fist away from the lower back. So soften the left knee so you can really access the core and get more into the muscles of the left quad. Inhale, stack up. Reach the hands over the head. Good. With the exhale, interlace the fingers behind the lower back. This is what I meant to do on the other side. Take an inhale to step into the left foot and bring the right knee in towards the hip as you're hovering the right foot away from the ground. Exhale, send the left elbow towards the inner right knee and try to really open up the right elbow just a little bit more for the twist. Good. Inhale, stack up. Exhale, step the right foot to the back of the mat to find a wide straddle and keep holding the back of the head and make sure the right toes, left toes are facing each other. Inhale, open up. Exhale, find your fold. Good. For a full cycle breath, stay here and you can choose to maybe drop the hands if you need the support. This is so we get even longer and a little bit more open through the hip line and the muscles surrounding the hips. Drop the hands if you haven't already. Take an inhale, halfway lift, open up. With the exhale, walk the hands to frame your front foot at the top of the mat. Take an inhale, lift the left leg up for a one-legged downward facing dog and follow the line that the heel is paying for the toes so you square the hips. Exhale, shift forward for a high plank and dip the chest and chin down with the elbows coming up towards the ribs. Inhale, press all the way back up, wrapping the elbows in. Exhale, bend the knee. You're not opening the hip per se. You're ideally sending the toes to the back of the head and finding a back bend as you send the back of the head to the toes. Use the inhale to shift forward. Use the exhale to dip the chest and the chin down with your knee bend. Inhale, lift back up. This is a hard one. Extend the leg. Exhale, drop the left foot down to find downward facing dog. Or you can hinge forward and find a vinyasa if you want to take the whole flow. Once you get into your downward facing dog, all together, take a deep breath in. With your exhale, find a child's pose. And only choose a child's pose that has the knees and the thighs touching each other, just because I can really get more into my lower back. But choose one that gets into where you personally need. Take it in. Exhale, walk the hands to the top right corner of the mat to get a side stretch, but really get deep into the side stretch. So If you're used to more of a restorative stretch here, go deeper. Maybe you send the left hand over the right hand, or maybe even outside the right hand, whichever one you choose. Make sure that the armpit on the left arm is rolling down so you really access the muscle line of the upper back on the left side and the triceps. Take a deep breath in, walk the hands to the top of the mat. With the exhale, take it to the other side. And the same sense of depth that you took on your right side, take on the left. Take a deep breath in and bring your hands back up through center. And use the exhale to just settle into the child's pose. Just one more cycle of breath here. Take an inhale, come into your tabletop, the shoulders over the wrists, the hips over the knees. Now guys, the following is optional. So we have a couple of progressions that you can work on towards your chin stand. Because chin stand is, in my opinion, a very advanced pose, this is gonna be the steps to follow and choose the one that will help you get deeper into it. I'll get closer to the screen just to give you alignment in a second, but first, see what I'm gonna do. So the first one is your extended puppy pose. Everything that we've been doing, sending the tailbone out, is with a lot of control like your cow, and extend the arms forward. This is one. Now the other one is from here. You can send your hands towards your shoulders. This is step two. Now make sure that your elbows aren't out. They're coming in and glued towards the rib cage. Now make sure that your chin and chest is very well braced down. Curl the toes. This is step three. By lifting the thighs, maybe you want to do one and then the other, that'll be fine. Step four will be reaching one foot up, maybe switching, and doing the other. And then your step five will be engaging the abdomen to press down. I need to shift a little bit further forward in my case. And without kicking, I lift up. Making sure that my mouth is never touching the mat. And then take a child's pose. That you really want to access the line of the chin. I'm going to go here. Of the chin and the sternum, and you leave this space of the throat not touching the ground. You leave this untouched. But this and this is really spreading wide away from each other. Same for the back of the neck. So choose whichever variations you want to explore today. If you want me to give you a little bit of alignment, I'll be here watching in, and make sure that when you're lifting the legs, you're not kicking up. You're again using the control of the lower abdomen in order to reach the leg up, if that makes any sense. As if someone is grabbing your leg and cradling it up for you. But you're gonna have to do that with your leg itself and the lowest part of your abdomen. What's up, Krigo?
So do you have to have the chest down in order, like you can't just support yourself with just the chin, right?
You can float it, you can. This can be floating, it's harder. That's kind of like the second level of the chin stand. Once you get the stability of floating the legs with this touching the ground, then you can push away from it. Then you can hover this. Was that your question?
No, like when I'm in the puppy pose, I have to be able to have the chest down in order to support myself, right? Like,
yes,
the chest
that is right. That is right. Yeah. So that's why extended puppy pose will be your first pose to explore before getting into the shoulder stand to lift the legs. If in your puppy pose, this is still not touching, it's because this is closing in, it's tight. It's like when you're driving and this naturally comes in, or when you're texting, you're in the computer. This is very natural. So this has to open up like we've been doing the whole hour. So everything that we just did today really helps you get you into that. Does that make sense? So that'll be one thing to work on. And yeah, extended puppy pose will be a good way for you to see how much more you need to open up from the sternum. And if you want to come into your knees and work a little bit of just binding and opening up, this is what I used to do a lot and be like, I need to stay here because this needs to separate. All right, guys, we're going to start closing in the practice all together. So go ahead and lie down on your backs. Hopefully you now have all the tools to maybe keep it going on your own. And everything, again, every pose that we did today is catered to get into the shoulder stand. So go ahead and bring the knees in towards the abdomen once you let the spine fully flatten down. And stretch the left leg towards the front of the room. Take a deep breath in. Cross body the right leg to the left side and let the left arm just extend out for a deeper form of your supine twist. And you can add a little bit of more weight with the left hand if you wish. Just make sure that the right shoulder is always pressing down as you extend the right arm towards the side. Take an inhale. Bring the right knee back up through center. Exhale, straighten the right leg to meet the left. Inhale, bring the left knee in towards the left armpit. Exhale, cross the knee towards the right side. And let the left arm straighten, stretch it out, and let the shoulder blade fully press down. If you want to add more weight, you can let the right hand press to the outer left thigh. Just again, make sure that the left shoulder blade does not unglue itself from the ground. Take an inhale. Bring your left knee back up through center. Let the right knee meet the left and hug yourself for the last time like a little C. Take all together a deep breath in. Then use the exhale to straighten your legs forward and extend the arms next to you. To close your eyes and open the palms in towards the ceiling. Stay here. So you let the state of becoming one with the object of observation help you settle the waves of the mind. Whatever that means for you. Can you find peace within so you can let the body sense everything that you have that keeps you light, that keeps you bright, and that keeps you strong at the same time? I'll bring you back. In the meantime, stay here. Finding a space of connection with yourself so you can understand the ones that you have with others. Very slowly and mindfully start bringing yourself back into the space with the same peace that you explored from within. Let that be that moves you to bring the peace into the outside. Maybe to pass on to others. Maybe to find a deeper understanding of what is going on our outsides. And as you move toes, arms, head, and you blink your eyes, you bring your knees into the abdomen and just let them weigh you down to the right side. So you come into a loose fetal. And then find a seat, pushing yourself up with your eyes closed if possible. And as you get into the seat, that helps you ground yourself even more. Take a deep breath in, reach the arms over the head all the way. Let the palms press with the exhale, bring the thumbs in through right center. And bring the chin slightly into the chest as a sign of respect and surrender to the practice and everything that is going on around us. Let's finish this practice all together with the sound of Om. So you know that you are a vibrational connection to the universe and everyone, even though we don't have physical contact. Take a deep breath in and empty the lungs. Inhale for Om. May the vibration keep us together always, no matter where we are. Thank you so much for giving me the chance to enter your home and guide you through this practice one more time. Namaste.
Namaste and thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for coming and connecting and signing up for the class. I swear that, again, my hair is just at that point where I need a haircut and I can't get it, so I'm gonna go like with a clipper one of these days. So yeah, wait for it. Thank you so much for coming in. And again, if you have any feedback, any questions, please let me know how I can serve you better. If you have any requests of anything that you want to explore, I'll be more than happy to cater to you. Actually, I kind of think I am stronger as a teacher if you tell me what you need, because then I'll find a way to help you achieve that goal. So again, if you don't follow me, you can follow me at the Bogey Yogi, and you can find that Instagram also on BSY Instagram if you're like, what does it say in there? And yeah, just again, the playlist is on my bio on Black Swan Yoga. Is also on Spotify. You can find it there. And what else? Yeah, I guess that's it, guys. Again, I'm so happy to be able to interact. Other than just speaking to the air on IG Live, which is what I feel is like, who's there? So thank you so much for coming in this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Pat. Have a great day.
Thank you. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you soon. Keep in touch, okay?
Will do.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Good job, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.